I love it. Welcome to Conference Championship Weekend with Calvin Dean, theCalvinDeanShow.com. Yes. Wow. Do we have a show for you today? Wow, man. Yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome. This is Calvin Dean. I just get all excited with the opening of this show. It's January 29th, 2022. We have some amazing news, some just amazing news for everyone. Yes, I know we're going to talk about the games this weekend. Of course we are. Of course we are. But we have to talk about what happened today. Well, we have announced from the CalvinDeanShow.com, we are fully announcing that Tom Brady is retiring. Yes, Mr. GOAT, the greatest of all time, is retiring January 29th, 2022. Mark that down. 22 years in the National Football League, 7 championships, 10 times to the championship game. There's no one going to be like that, guys. Just no one. I mean, 144th pick. Got to be kidding me. You know, he went into the New England Patriots as the 4th string quarterback. The 4th string quarterback. What does that tell everyone? Just think about that, guys. When people think that you can't do it, look at Tom Brady. Look what he did. He just went for it. He just put his mind to it, and he studied. I mean, Tom Brady and Drew Brees are two of the best out there when it came to studying the defense. I mean, if you wanted a quarterback in the final 2 minutes, it would be Tom Brady, because he knows what the defense is going to give him. He just knows. He knows all the time. Look what just happened last week. They got beat. Now, mind you, I'm going to go over last week, the games. And there's 3 coaching errors, huge coaching errors that had upended my picks last week. Okay. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I just still want to continue about Tom Brady. I mean, the guy is just, he is the greatest of all time. There's not going to be another quarterback. I guarantee you there's not going to be another quarterback that's going to be in the, at the top of his game at 44. He was at the top of his game. He went out a winner. I mean, he came back last week's game, coaching error at the end of the game, gave them the loss. But I mean, really, in all reality, it was, and he's just amazing. There's so many records that we want to go over. There's just some crazy stats. I mean, now his true name, the full name is Thomas Edward Patrick Brady Jr., is an American football quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers of the National Football League. He spent his first 20 seasons with the New England Patriots, Bill Belichick, where he was a central contributor to the franchise's dynasty, mind you, from 2001 to 2019. Born August 3rd, 1977, age 44. He was born in San Mateo, California. He's approximately 6'4". Yes, he is married to Giselle. Married in 2009. So, I mean, Giselle is just, come on. She's a top model. And she's just like all that and then some, His current team and last team was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He went to college at the University of Michigan. He has children, John Edward Thomas Monahan, Vivian Lake Brady, Benjamin Brady. So, I mean, the kids come first, they really do. And amazing. The guy just had a stellar career. I mean, seriously, And he finished out the year in 2021 at 67% completion, 67.5 with 5,300. Now think about it. 44 years old. He's throwing for 5,316 yards. 5,316 yards. Okay, 44 years old. He never had that. He threw more yards in his final season as a professional football player. He finished at the total his top end of the game. He finished with 5,316 yards. 43 touchdowns. 43 touchdowns, guys. 44 years old. 43 touchdowns. 12 interceptions. A passer rating of 102.1. Last year when he won the Super Bowl, his passer rating was 102.2. Threw for 40 touchdowns last year and 12 interceptions, 4,600 yards, and his completion percentage was 65.7%. I mean, if you go through the years, which I am right now, from 2020 all the way up, it's just amazing. I mean, he's always been in the 60s when it comes to completion percentage. Okay, always. Other than the 2000, he was at 33%. And, he's threw for only 6 yards, so he didn't really play at all. But just to think about all this, guys, all this. I mean, come on, 44 years old, threw for 5,316 yards. And he was this close and being, getting into the next round, which I believe, they would have won. It's just, what an amazing career. I mean, hats off. I mean, the guy, I put something up on my Twitter page at Calvin Dean. Just go to my Twitter page at Calvin Dean, and my Instagram page at Calvin J. Dean, at Calvin J. Dean. And just go there. I do have a TikTok as well, Calvin J. Dean, TikTok as well, Calvin J. Dean. My TikTok. So look it up. I tweeted today. I did a game where they were in the Super Bowl with the Atlanta Falcons, and it was 28-all, and he threw a pass to Danny Amendola. It was a 15-yard out, and that pass, you have to go to my page, Calvin Dean at calvindean.com. You really have to go to my page and look at that pass. I mean, it was the spiral was so tight, and he dropped it in like a dime. And it was just the most perfect pass I've ever seen, a quarterback pass. And it was in the Super Bowl, mind you. So, I mean, you'd have to go see that pass. Really, you do. You have to go to my page at Calvin Dean on Twitter and look at that pass. I have the recording of it. And it's just amazing. You have to listen to this. It's just really to just get the sheer joy of a great quarterback. It's just amazing. Just amazing.
Sure has. He's been Brady's go-to guy here in this ballgame. 13 catches, 113 yards, one huge touchdown. Saw those numbers for Brady in this fourth quarter. 2nd and 4. Sideline. What a throw, Amendola on the reception. One of the best in the game for Tom Brady. You called it. You got to lay this ball out on the sideline. Amendola again with the speed out. Brian Poole in coverage. And Brady lays it out perfectly.
Wow. I mean, yeah. I mean, really, guys. I I could go on and on about Tom Brady. He's the best. There's never going to be another quarterback like this, ever. 22 years? Think about it. You think the way Mahomes is running around and, putting his body in harm's way, same with Josh Allen, same with Lamar Jackson. Do you think those guys are really going to sit there and last for 22 years the way they're playing? No. It's not going to happen. The art of a drop-back passer is a dying breed in the NFL. It is. And that dying breed is, it's sad because, like the Andrew Luck. Look what happened to Andrew Luck. He was another one. He was like a Carson Wentz. He threw his body around, got hurt. He was one of the greats, but he got hurt. And same with Carson Wentz, throw their bodies around, look at Ben Roethlisberger. Looked terrible the last year, even though he made his, the team to the playoffs. But I've never seen him look so bad. Unfortunately, Roethlisberger went, he retired. And the thing is, with him retiring, he retired sort of like when he was, at his worst, unfortunately. But the thing of it is with and, same with Luck, he retired after a terrible injury and he tried to come back and then he retired again and he said he couldn't come back. And Tom Brady, guys, went out with, the guy was just amazing how he went out. 67% completion, 5,316 yards, 43 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 1.2%, 1.2 passer rating. I'm sorry, I had to repeat that. Is a passer rating has always been very high for him. So there's not going to be another one. There's just not. He was the best. There's just so many questions that people have the answer. Question. Why was it? Was it that was it family related? I think it's all family related. Kids are growing up. Gisele's hot, guys. She is hot, man. Come on. But, he's a good-looking guy, too. So, 6'4". Hello, And, he had a good time. Matt Castle, tweeted today he can confirm that I texted Tom Brady and he didn't text me back. Matt Castle. That's pretty funny. I don't know. There's now Tom Brady Sr. tells Cron 4 News that his son is not retiring. Brady Sr. says his online publication started circulating it's just a rumor. That's what Tom Brady Sr. is telling. However, a number of NFL insiders are now reporting it. So it's like, is Elvis dead still? Come on, guys. Come on. If you want to go to, what's Gronk? What about Gronk? What's Gronk saying? Just go to Twitter. It's blowing up on Twitter, It really has. Gronk won't be returning. I can guarantee you that. There's a lot of people who won't be returning. I'm telling you something. You can say goodbye to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They had a great 2 years. There's a lot of guys there. Think about it. Tampa Bay Buccaneers tight end Rob Gronkowski, 32 years old, said Wednesday that while he needs time to weigh a return for next season, he had to make a decision right now. If he had to make a decision right this minute, someone said he would not return to play in the NFL in 2022. I think he's going out too. great. I mean, I don't think he would survive without Tom Brady. I really do. Him and Tom were just like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It's like water with a fish. I mean, how does the fish swim the water? I mean, you know what I mean? They're that close, it's that close, And so hats off to Mr. Rob Gronkowski, think about it. When I said too bad for the Tampa Bay Bucks, I guarantee you Ndamukong Suh won't be back. His contract is, they pushed it for this year. And there's a lot of other players that won't be back because they're going to need to revamp that whole system. I mean, they're going to need a new quarterback. But there's a few quarterbacks that are going to be on the market. If you think about it, heck, who knows? Aaron Rodgers could say, hey, I want out. And Tampa Bay could tick Aaron Rodgers. Couldn't it? That would be wild, huh? And I bet you guys would stay at that. I bet you Gronk would say, you know what, I think I might just, hang on another year here. Godwin, he's up. His contract's up. He's gone. Mike Evans, he's a diehard Tampa Bay, but he wants to win. Me too, and it just matters how the Tampa Bay Bucks draft and what happens in the offseason. But because there are a lot of teams. Russell Wilson wants out. Who knows about Aaron Rodgers? But Jimmy G is going to be available. There's going to be a lot of quarterbacks available. And there's not that many really exciting quarterbacks coming out of college either. So I think Tampa Bay, and then who knows, Deshaun Watson, that's still an up in the air thing, so, that could work. Right? So you never know. Miami fired their coach, their head coach, Ryan Flores. I didn't understand that one either. So, but who am I, right? Well, let's just get down to it. Championship weekend starts right now. Yeah. Let's talk about it. Let's go. We have to go out to last week, and I have 3 coaching errors. If you listen to my show, you would have seen that I did pick, the Cincinnati Bengals to lose to the Tennessee Titans. And I just didn't really understand what was really going on there. Excuse me, that was my watch going off. Anyway, the Tennessee Titans, this is my thing. 9 sacks of the Cincinnati Bengals. 9 sacks they had. Cincinnati could not get them out of the backfield. At that moment in time, the Cincinnati Bengals had already scored only 13 points. So each team, mind you, each football team were at 13, right? And what I don't understand is this. Here you took the ball, you went forward, you went forward, like I said, and you got a first down. You guys were running, and it was, I think they caught the ball with a little over 2 minutes left, and they were just running the ball, and Tennessee was, and they were going good. But then, with 20 seconds left, why would you're at the 35-yard line of your own. Why would you do that? Why would you throw a button hook, a 12-yard button hook like that on a second down? I don't get that. I just don't get it. With 20 seconds left, and they were just, it's not like they were pushing the ball down and they were pushing it inside, not outside, So It's a coaching error. I mean, like I said, all this whole time, you were stopping that team. You know, you had 9 sacks. You're stopping him cold. And why don't you you're at the 35, you just got a first down, and why are you, I just didn't get the call. Terrible coaching error. The coaches lost the game for the Tennessee Titans. The coaching error. That was the stupidest call I've ever seen with 20 seconds left. Guys, just let it run out, go into OT, and then if you lose the toss, you kick it to them, and they get it, at the 25, and you just let your defense become your defense, but stop them. And it's just terrible. Now, mind you, who knows who would have won in the OT, but you would have given yourself a better chance to win the game if you go into overtime, especially with the Tennessee Titans. They weren't moving the ball. I mean, and their defense was stopping one of the best offenses in the league. Okay, so then the other game, which was I predicted the San Francisco 49ers to beat the 2 Green Bay Packers. That was my upset special of the week. And the Buffalo Bills was my block of the week. And that's another one. Another blunder by the coaching staff. I'm sorry. That was a blunder. The Kansas City Chiefs got a gift from the Buffalo Bills football staff, coaching staff. Shame, shame, shame on them. Just shame on them. This is how I feel about the Buffalo Bills coaching staff. They're laughing. Yeah, they're a laughing stock. They are. With 14 seconds left, you squib kick the ball to like the 20 or the 15. You pop it up in the air so your defense surrounds it, and you at least kill 5 seconds. All right? So you got 9 seconds. The ball's at the 25 anyway, so you just knocked off 5 seconds. And what do? The crossing route to Hill, right? Pick up 15 yards. They're at what? 15, 20, let's say 20 yards. They're at the 45. But guess what? There's 3 seconds left now. And they're at their own 45. No time for a field goal to tie the game. It would be the only play that they would have at that moment in time is Mahomes drop back and passes a Hail Mary. And, you know how Hail Marys go. It's a crapshoot, And that's the thing. That's what would have happened if the coaches were truly coaching the game. A terrible coach game. Shame on the Buffalo Bills coaching staff. I would have fired their coaching staff. The special teams coaching staff of the Buffalo Bills should be fired. The offensive coordinator of the Tennessee Titans should be fired. Both teams should fire those coaching staffs. And the Tampa Bay Bucks, 19 seconds left. What are you thinking? You're tied. Your team is on a roll. What are you thinking? An all-out blitz, leaving the middle open for Cooper Kupp and the safety? Oh, my God. Todd Bowles. Shame, shame, shame on you for losing that game for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Shameful. Shameful, Todd Bowles. Shameful. You should hold your head down for calling that ball. You should hold your head down and just that was one of the worst calls I've ever seen. Now, Todd, you had a great game against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl last year when you guys won, and you held Mr. Mahomes had only 9 points, no touchdowns. You were a king. But I can honestly believe Mr. Todd Bowles lost this game for the Tampa Bay Bucks. So there you go. 3 coaches, 3 coaching errors. Would I fire Todd Bowles? I would be happy for him to leave on his own. You know, he's up for, I guess, like a few coaching decisions. But in all reality, me as a GM seeing that, how he called that last play, that would make me question. You know, it's in the NFL. It's how good are you now, not what you did before you gave me. You know, what you did before for my team. It's what you're doing now that counts. So, shame on Todd Bowles. I should have been 4-0. Let's just say at least, but I ended up at the first 10 games in the playoffs. Now I'm 7-3. I picked 7 winners, 3 losers. Now the thing of it is, the first wild card weekend I was 6-0. Last week I was 1-4. And like I just went over, I shouldn't have been 1-4. The Buffalo Bills should have won. That should have been a win. That if the special teams would have done their job and actually did their job correctly for the Buffalo Bills, I would have won that game. At least won that game. You don't know if the other games, if they went into overtime, who would have won or who would have lost. But I think Tampa Bay would have had a great chance, and I think Tennessee would have had a great chance. I really do. I really both think that both teams would do great, would have done great in overtime. I really do. I think I would have been 4-0. I truly do believe that for a fact. So it kind of pisses me off in a way that my the reflection of my picks was from coaching errors. I mean, now if they would just won outright and I would have gotten beat that way, then shame on me. But if you really, this wasn't on me. It was on the coaches. It wasn't on my picks, because my picks were right on. I should have been 4-0. I should be 10-0 right now. I really should be. But I'm 7-3. So let's go into these 2 games tomorrow. This is going to be exciting. Usually, the funniest thing is that usually the games like the week before is really exciting games. And then usually like the championship weekend games, like, you know, at conference championship weekend that we're having this weekend, usually like one game is a blowout, you know. Usually it's like that. I don't know which one's going to be a blowout. Hopefully not any of them. I hope there's really 2 great games. I really do. So let's look at the Cincinnati Bengals. It's the first game for 12 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. That's 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And it's the Kansas City Chiefs hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Cincinnati lucked out last week by beating the Tennessee Titans from a coaching error. So they won. And they shouldn't have won, but they won. And then Kansas City just, you know, lucked out against Buffalo Bill. They should not. Both of these teams should not be here right now. I should be saying the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills right now. I really should be. Buffalo should be here right now. Buffalo should be here. Really, they should be here. And the Kansas City Chiefs, I mean, you know, of course, I mean, they looked all world. You couldn't stop them at the end. You couldn't stop the Buffalo Bills either, you know. So, you know, the Kansas City Chiefs, they're 3rd in offense and 13th for Cincinnati. Cincinnati's defense is a little bit better. Cincinnati, you know, they're just they're 18th, and the Kansas City Chiefs are 27th. That's their Achilles heel. It's their defense for Kansas City, but their offense is so great. Their passing is 4th for Kansas City. the passing for the Cincinnati Bengals, which is Joe Burrows. He's just phenomenal with Jamar Chase, number 7th. The rushing for the Cincinnati Bengals is 23rd, and the rushing for the Kansas City Chiefs are 16th. Yeah, 16. Can you believe it's 16? Wow. I mean, this is one of those games where, I mean, seriously, the Kansas City Chiefs played like last week that no one could beat them. Other than, I mean, the Buffalo Bills, like I said, should have beat them. But if it was anyone else, they would have won a lot better than they did against the Bills. So, this is a toss-up game. Of course, we all want Kansas City to lose because, I mean, they looked so good last week where no one could stop them. No one could stop them. It's just a tough game to call. My buddy Marlon, he just loves those Cincinnati Bengals. Loves Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, Mixon, Higgins, Boyd, Yukasama. I mean, they've got some great teams, and then Kansas City's got Mahomes and Hill, and then they have the running backs that are in committee, right? Williams and Clyde Hilaire, and then you have Mr. Kelsey. I mean, that guy's unstoppable. Kelsey's like, he's amazing. They're not playing the Buffalo Bills this week. They're playing the Cincinnati Bengals. So, Cincinnati Bengals defense it's not as good as the Buffalo Bills. Now they're better. The Bengals defense is better against the run, as you could see last week how they stopped Henry. Reader was a massive man. He's a massive man. Reader is on Cincinnati. I mean, he's just that defensive, front. And he's like a house. He's huge. He's huge. So it's a tough one. I of course everyone wants the underdog, and unfortunately I can't really call this one to the Cincinnati Bengals. Just Kansas City's averaged 33.2 points per game with Mahomes as a starter in the playoffs, most in the NFL history. I mean, most in 5 starts. Most in NFL history of 5 starts. So that's something to ponder yourself with. It's just, he's so tough, and I mean, I of course, I go, this is going to be an upset, But I don't see it. I don't see it happening, guys. I just don't see the Cincinnati Bengals a better team than the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't see any AFC team other than the Buffalo Bills better than the Kansas City Chiefs. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you my pick right now. I'm giving you the Kansas City Chiefs over the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, mind you, look at the point spread. The point spread has not moved. Yeah, it's been a 7-point spread. And it hasn't got it just hasn't gotten any bigger or smaller. I just don't see the Bengals winning this game. I hope they do. I hope they prove me wrong. That would be awesome for Cincinnati. But it's not going to happen. If you're a betting person, do not bet on the Bengals in this game. I think the Chiefs are going to win. This is the game that's going to be a blowout game. You always have those games, blowout games, and this is the blowout game. I'm thinking 44-17. The Cincinnati Bengals will lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. It'd be 44-17. I think Kansas City Chiefs will beat them more than 3 touchdowns easily. Hate to say that. Don't hate me, Cincinnati Bengals fans. Don't hate me at all. But if I'm a betting guy, come on, man. Kansas City all the way. That's just, now, mind you, the Bengals, I don't think they can really play them close. I don't think they can play them close. I really don't. I don't think they can. Now, mind you, the last time that they played, the Bengals beat them on January 2nd of this year, 34-31. They were in Cincinnati. It's a little different now because it's in Kansas City. They're at home. Kansas City's really good at home. And that crowd, that team, I just don't see the Cincinnati Bengals beating them at home. I just don't see it. Now, what would be surprising if the Cincinnati Bengals beat the spread, if you bet on the Bengals, I think that would be very surprising. I think that would be a major upset. If you bet on the Bengals and let's say they lost by like 5 or 6 points, well, good for you. Good for you. Congratulations. But I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't. I think this is going to be the first game is going to be the blowout game. The second game is going to be the San Francisco 49ers going into SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, where I live. Yeah. Woohoo! Los Angeles. Yeah. Los Angeles. SoFi Stadium. The only thing about this game, and that, my buddy Dean, he's like, I think this is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs against the Los Angeles Rams in the Super Bowl. And, they could be right. He could be right. San Francisco has won 6 straight games against the Los Angeles Rams. 6 straight games. They just beat them on the 9th of January, 27-24. It's just tough. Injury reports. Now, Bosa will be here. Bosa's still hurt, but he'll be playing. Mack is hurt. The center. He'll be playing defensive end. That's Nick Bosa. Great defensive end. Jimmy Garoppolo, Jimmy G will be playing. How about Jimmy G? I mean, come on. He's been playing his lights out. And Mr. Williams is questionable. Trent Williams, the big defensive tackle, he's questionable. I think he's going to play. I really do. The guy's a house. I think he's going to play. Wilson, the running back, he's been hurt for some time, a lower ankle sprain, and he's been hurt. Now on the he's questionable. I think he'll play. Now on the Rams, Akers still, he's still hurting. Whitworth, he possibly will be playing. Gaines, the other tackle, Vance Jefferson, he's questionable. He's hurt. Wolford, he's the backup quarterback. And then the only one that is doubtful will be Noteboom. He looks like he's not going to be around. But if you want to look at, now this game is like closer stat-wise than the Cincinnati-Kansas City games. And that's why I'm giving a blowout to Kansas City. This game's going to be a lot tighter. You have the 7th-ranked offense of the San Francisco 47th. 7th ranked, guys. Shanahan's 7th ranked. And the 9th-ranked offense of the Los Angeles Rams. 9th ranked. That's pretty good. Now, the defense, this is where it's at. The San Francisco 49ers held the Green Bay Packers to 10 points. I know it was the cold bowl and it was the snowy, but every team was playing the same thing. And they had 5 sacks of Aaron Rodgers. 5 sacks. Yes, the San Francisco 49ers, Nikki's Niners, little Nikki up in San Francisco. Hi, honey. She's so cool. She she writes the show all the time, and she just loves those Niners, man. She just loves those Niners, and she was going nuts. Let's just read. This is one of our fans of the show, the Calvin Dean Show, and if you can go to Calvin Dean Show and click on Contact Me, and just give me your take, and I'll read it on the air, just like I'm doing for Nikki. And she writes, again with my upset special, which I won last week. And she goes, honey, one of my first thoughts was, should I call 911 and send them to your home? And she laughs, and then but they would have to have come to mine first. Because I was flatlining about 10 times during this one. So she was like freaking out the whole entire time. Oh my God, the snow. It was beautiful. Watching both teams play in those conditions was just awesome. My God. Debo. That's all the Rams are going to be thinking about is Debo Samuels, because that guy is just amazing. I mean, you can't stop him. And he has been just the MVP for them this year, which she is right. Him hopping off the field, oh my God, on one leg. Yes. Later on that night, he was partying with the coach, and he was walking fine. So Debo Samuels is fine. He tweaked something, and he's fine. And then he said, then she writes, then Gould was cold as ice running through his veins in the cold weather. And you can say, wow. This is her talking, okay? And what a kick under those conditions. You were perfect last week. Looks like this week you're not doing too well. Thanks, Nikki. But then she puts, but you're still the GOAT picker of all games. And she's sweet. She's sweet. She is so sweet. Thank you, Nikki from San Francisco, for writing the show. Nikki's Niners, we call them. And she is so cute. This game is a tough one. I'm a Los Angeles person. I don't have an actual team. I have favorite players. Look, one of my favorite players just retired today, Tom Brady. Man, the memories. Thanks for the memories, Tom. And it's just that right now we have a team that is made for the Super Bowl. I mean, it really made for the Super Bowl, man. It is, So